Hello. I am back on the internet. It has been a few months. I came on because I have a very big announcement that I want to share because I know it's going to serve so many of you. So here's the context. This year is the 10-year anniversary since I grew out of or healed my disordered eating, binge eating, emotional eating. A lot of you guys know my story, but it was not good. It was really not good. So before these past 10 years of growth and freedom and healing, I had also 10 years of misery, misery and suffering and fighting my own brain and body. And so I was thinking about that and I was like, I have 20 years of experience here. And in hindsight, those 10 years of misery, like really depths of despair with food to the point where I was just like praying to God, like, please help me. I'll do anything. I even promised God, which I'm upholding my promise, that I would help people for the rest of my life if God could just show me the way to fix this problem. So now, of the 10 years that I've been enjoying my freedom, I've also been coaching for 8 of those years. So I've gotten to work with so many people, and many of whom struggled much longer than I have. And I've learned just a ridiculous amount in this time. So I was thinking, what do I want to do? What do I want to offer in honor of this milestone for people who are still struggling and for people who don't even know that there's a way out of this? So that's the big announcement. So here's what I'm doing. Starting next week, I'll give you all of the details. Actually, if you really want all the details, I just posted a podcast episode last night explaining this entire event, how you can participate, how you'll benefit, whether you struggle with binge eating, emotional eating, any kind of compulsive overeating, whatever label you put on it, whether it's food addiction or I don't care what the label is. If you feel out of control with food, this will be great for you. So the podcast episode is up. If you want to learn more, my podcast is called Outgrow Binge Eating. I'll put all the links in the comments for you if you want to just check it out. But I'll just say the summary here. So starting next week for 20 weeks, so 1 week per year of my experience, I'm going to be coming on twice a week and giving really the deepest lessons that I've given for free publicly so far in my coaching career. A lot of these topics I've reserved more for private client coaching. But as I've been reflecting on just what has helped me the most, go from like not like binging every single day to it not even being a thought in my mind anymore and literally having zero desire for it, actually feeling kind of repulsed or repelled by the idea, to get from point A to point B. A lot of people come to me and they're like, give me the strategy. Like, what do I do in the heat of the moment if I have this kind of craving or this kind of craving? And I focused a lot on strategy in the past. In my podcast, if you've listened to it, you know that. But the things that really helped me shift the most are deeper than that. And if you think about just how we all operate, you know, with all the information we have, like ChatGPT and AI, like we can just like plug in like, hey, give me the perfect workout for the next 8 weeks to work on this, this, and this, and it'll spit out the perfect workout. So then why aren't we all ripped, right? Because there's a gap between having the information and then being consistent with implementation and actually being the person who lives that way. And that for me was the biggest thing. Like I got to the point where it wasn't just that I wanted to stop binge eating. I wanted to change my identity to somebody who just didn't struggle with food. And we all know people like that, right? We all know people who struggle with food, and we all know people who, you know, they can have cookies in their cabinet and they forget about them and they go stale. Like I never thought I could be that person, but I knew that that was my ideal. And that was my ideal back then. Now my ideal is even higher than that. So what I wanted to really do in these next 20 weeks, when I give you lesson by lesson, what I wanted to do is focus mostly on those core shifts that need to happen to change that identity. For you to not just be in your same brain that you're in right now, fighting the cravings, fighting the urges, trying to count like, I got 6 binge-free days, like I just got to keep it going. Like to me, that's not freedom. To me, that's still struggle. It's just, you know, you're using a lot of motivation and willpower, which in my eyes, or in my experience, I should say, always gives out at some point. And when it does give out, it's like the ultimate backslide. Like usually the longest periods I'd go without a binge or without sugar or with whatever rule I was following, as soon as I broke it and I fell off that wagon, it's like everything would just spiral even more out of control than it was before. So to me, that's still not freedom if you have to constantly think about it just to stay on top of things. To me, the freedom is to not have to think about it and for food to be a beautiful, nourishing fuel that I enjoy and don't think about beyond that. So I really had to make some more core internal shifts to get to that place. And that's really what I'd like to focus, at least the start of these 20 weeks. That's what I want to focus on the most, because I think that's where people struggle the most. And it's also what's talked about the least. Most people talk about, oh, you just got to count your macros and count your calories. Well, how many times have we been given the perfect plan, whether it's by AI or a nutritionist or a dietitian, and it's beautiful on paper, but then we can't follow it. So there's that gap. And what I want to do through these 20 weeks is to help bridge the gap so you can genuinely start to feel like you're in a different brain around food. And this is what I'm really, really excited to deliver. And this is the biggest event, 20 weeks. I mean, I'm going to be showing up twice a week. So that's like 40 episodes that I'm going to be showing up, talk about consistency. So I'll be here to give you these core identity shifts and the things you need to do to really change your trajectory with food. And I'm offering it all for free. And the reason I wanted to offer it for free, even though I want you to treat it like you paid for this, I want you to treat like you paid thousands for it, because if you truly pay attention to what I'm giving you and really take it seriously, you can be in a completely different place with food. Like when I look back now, I don't even recognize that person. Like I see past Katie as a different person. And boy, was she struggling. But that's not how I think anymore. That's not how I am anymore. So if you've been spinning your wheels and struggling with the same thing for years, this is what you need. This is what you need. So that way you can look back on you now and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I thought that way. But this is what my clients do. I couldn't even binge like that if I tried. And that's how I feel. I couldn't if I tried. So this is what I want for you. So my invitation to you right now is, if you want to check out the podcast episode I already posted, go ahead. But either way, go to the podcast and follow and subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. So you can go to Spotify or Apple or YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts. If you want to see my face, you can go to YouTube because the videos will be there. And put on your little notifications so that way you can stay on top of this each week, and you will see a change in yourself. If you really show up, it's impossible for you to not see a change in yourself. So I'm really, really excited to offer this. And one bonus thing that I'm going to be giving to people who are on my email list. So if you're on my email list, good job. If you're not on my email list, you got to get on it now. So because what I'm going to be offering after each episode, here's what I found. This is why I'm doing this. After each episode, I'm going to give you a deeper angle into what we've talked about. What do I mean by that? A lot of times, just through all these years of teaching, before I was teaching on this, I was teaching other things like yoga and breathing and meditation and all kinds of stuff. I was fitness, all kinds of stuff I was teaching. And what I found just through all my years of teaching and coaching is that sometimes I'll say something and someone will get it in theory and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then I'll say it in like a slightly different way or with a different example or a different analogy, and something just clicks. They're like, oh my God. And then they can't unsee it, and it starts to become the core of their being. And I've had amazing teachers who have really shifted my perspective in this way too. So the more we reinforce something, if we really want to change, we have to reinforce something, because the more we reinforce something, the more we're programming, the more we're rewiring the way that we're thinking and feeling about things. So I'm sending out extras to people on my email list to help reinforce. So if you're serious, go to katiepapo.com/resources. I'll put the link in the comments. And that's where I'm going to be giving these deeper insights and ways to make this really stick. So I'm super excited for this event over the next 20 weeks. We start July 21st, which is a Tuesday. That's when the first episode will drop. So I invite you to be part of it. Go to the Spotify or YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow the podcast called Outgrow Binge Eating. You'll see my name, Katie Papo. And you can subscribe to my email list too, katiepapo.com/resources. I'm really excited about this, if you couldn't tell. So I'm going to get back to planning my episodes, and I will see you soon.